Welcome to the Prescott Home Value Report through November 2024. Brought to you by the Prescott Pickle Lady, Diane Bro Realtor. As you can probably tell, I am not the Pickle Lady. That's me in the bottom right-hand corner. The Pickle Lady has authorized me to share with you the following slides. Starting always with Prescott, the city of Prescott, median sales price per square foot. Each one of these dots represents a month, the median sales price per square foot for that month. The blue line is last year, the red line is this year. Comparing this year to last year, we are down 4%. We've been down for a few months now. Not a big departure. We've kind of been below last year for the last 3 months. We're kind of following the same holiday pattern. If you average out the last 6 months, you end up almost even, Steven. I've been saying that for a long time, that prices have been pretty flat. We've had 3 months in a row where we're beating last year. Before that, we're losing to last year. Before that, we had 3 months that we were beating last year. Who knows exactly what this means? It doesn't look like big changes to me. It looks like pretty much the same pattern we've had for some time. Pretty even, Steven. Turning now to transaction volume. Again, each one of these dots represents the results of a month, and that is the number of transactions that closed in that month. And we've been pretty neck and neck with last year. We were running, for the better part of a year, we were running about 20% lower than the year before. Then we kind of started catching up. And then September, we kind of ran even Steven. October, we were even Steven. Well, this month, we really beat last year. And that looks like it would be significant, but it's not. It's because last year, the Thanksgiving came very early, and so the holiday effect hit us early. We had this precipitous drop-off last month. I talked about it quite extensively. If you want to go back, you can listen to that. But yeah, that's just the way Thanksgiving fell last month. Really made last month look bad. What I'm anticipating is that this number is going to drop further and get closer to the December month. It might actually dip below. I don't know, just because of the month effect, the Thanksgiving effect from last year. It'd be kind of interesting to see that. But anyway, I wouldn't make too much of that big drop. Or beating last year, not having the drop. I don't think that means that this November is significantly different than last year. This is the pending ratio analysis. So this is the analysis that we use to answer the question, is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? How would we know? Well, the way we know is we look at the pending ratio analysis. The way that works is when I ran these numbers, there were 617 homes on the market. Of those, and that's in the city of Prescott. Of those, 104 were pending. Well, 104 is 17% of 617. So our pending ratio is 17%. If you look up 17% in our handy-dandy color chart here, you'll see that that falls in the realm of a strong buyer's market. We've been there for a while. This number's kind of jumping a little bit, but it really hasn't moved too much. A little more interesting is when you break that out by price point. So this is our chart on that. A lot of going on the chart, so let me walk you through it. The blue bars down here, that is the number of homes that sold in that price point during the month of November. The red dots are the pending ratio for homes in that price point. So that's kind of how this chart works, kind of a double chart here. You can see, as usual, we've got very little going on, 100s, 200s. Looks like there's a few homes that sold in the 200s. That's why the pending ratio is really low. So that's why it looks it's a seller's market. Typically, you see the lower the price point, the more of a seller's market it is. I'm not sure why 300s and 400s dropped. Typically, this would be about here, and this would be, you kind of have this gradual decline. But for whatever reason, the 300s and the 400s are more of a buyer's market than higher price points. Isn't that strange? Then you get to the 500s, you kind of get the familiar pattern, all the way down to the 900s, an extreme buyer's market. And then we have this pop-up in the million plus. And that is, still a buyer's market, but it's not even a strong buyer's market. That's really interesting. I'm not sure what's going on. Also, we got some huge volume in million plus. So when I originally started doing these charts, a million plus was pretty rarefied air. Now it's not uncommon to have homes that are a million plus in the Prescott area. So I'm going to have to adjust these bars for the next year, so we don't have nothing going on here and too much going on up there. So I'm going to shove everything down a couple of price points lower and see what that does for us. But yeah, interesting things going on in higher price points. So overall, how long does it take for Prescott homes to sell? Well, to get from you put the home on MLS until a contract, 5.4 months. Escrows have been running a little over a month, so the whole thing takes about 6.5 months. Turning now to the city of Prescott Valley, and the same sort of analysis. These numbers are a lot tighter, have been for a long time. Once again, we were underperforming earlier in the year, not as well as last year. And then we flipped kind of in the late summer, early fall, and we've been running ahead ever since. We are still at 5%. So, again, if you take the 6 months, it doesn't make that look so big. But, we might stay in there. The Prescott Valley is 5 ahead, and Prescott is 4 behind. Looking at transaction volumes, now, of course, Prescott Valley's transaction volume is a lot lower. Prescott's kind of up in here, and Prescott Valley is down here. Pretty even with last year, particularly the last couple of months. November was no exception. We did not have as dramatic a drop last year in Prescott Valley, but we still beat last year. Again, that's probably because of the Thanksgiving effect we had last year. Not sure what happened in September of this year. We took a dive in Prescott Valley, but it came right back again. Probably just month-to-month fluctuations. We see that all the time. All right, turning now to our pending ratio analysis for Prescott Valley. 298 homes were on the market. Of those, 56 were pending. 19% is our pending ratio analysis. That's still a strong buyer's market. Prescott Valley has been kind of bouncing between a buyer's market and a strong buyer's market for a few months now. Breaking this out by price point, again, 100s and 200s, there's nothing there. You could see the line kind of has a downward trend as we go to higher price points. But these lines, that pattern, I haven't seen a clear sign of that pattern in a while. Weird things are still going on in our markets. We've had this bump in the 800s for a while now. Not sure why that is more of a seller's market than some of the other higher price points, but it's a pattern we've been seeing for a while. Not sure why the 300s and the 400s aren't higher up here. We saw the same thing in the Prescott chart. The 300s and the 400s were more of a buyer's market than maybe just oversupply. Not sure what's going on there. And then once again, we get this huge jump back. Now, there are a lot of areas of Prescott Valley that are building homes that are a million plus. There's only one I can think of offhand that has a significant number of those. And that just might be a function of that as very new construction. But we saw the same pattern in Prescott. So I don't know. Our higher market is in hot demand. People want higher end homes now in Prescott, which is interesting. Overall, though, it takes about 4 months to get to a contract, and escrows are running just shy of a month. So overall, about 5 months to sell a home. Moving now to our highlights, we saw the median price per square in Prescott is $304. That's been, that's low. I think that's going to bounce back, but maybe not. Generally, I think the price per square in Prescott is more like $325. But this month, not so much. So, and also too, the price per square in Prescott's get really tight with Prescott Valley, which is interesting. Usually, you see a pretty fair gap between these two. But, that just might be month-to-month fluctuations. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Month change, we did have a 5% drop from last month, and we're running 4% below last year. And Prescott, we gained a percent over last month, and now we're running 5% over last year. Here's our volume. It's 95 transactions in Prescott, 60 in Prescott Valley. That's a drop of 12%, but an increase of 42% over last year, which is huge. Last year we were really running low, and we've caught up. 13% higher in Prescott Valley, so we're seeing both areas. Our volume has come back from our low volume in 2023, but we dropped 22%. But again, that's a seasonal thing. We kind of expect that. Inventory in Prescott is 617. That's a 7% drop from last month. And 298 in Prescott Valley. That's a 2% drop from last month. We kind of expect inventories to go down a bit going into the holiday season. And months to contract, 5.4. It's exactly the same as last month. And 4 months in Prescott Valley, which is almost a month longer than last month. So things are kind of slowing down. Look, if you like this kind of stuff, we got lots more for you in the Prescott Home Value Report. This is just a summary. We go into specific subdivisions and just a whole bunch of stuff. So lots of slicing and dicing. So I would encourage you to download that report and get it in full. We update this report every month, but it is not the only report we do. We also have what we call the Appraiser's Eye View, which is the last 6 months of the latest comps. And it's broken out by subdivision. In fact, Prescott Lakes, we break it out by neighborhood. So it's very, very detailed. This is an example of what you'll see in the chart. This would be a subdivision. It's sorted by price per square foot, the number of months that it took the home to sell, square footage, the year it was built, how many stories, how many acres, and whether the listing agent is reporting the home having a view or not. Using this, you can look at all the different comps that occurred. You can see the average down here. So using this, it's a really good tool to figure out what you should be paying for a home, or where you might want to price a home that you are selling. So a really cool tool. We even have a video which goes through how to use this information to come up with value estimates for homes. We do a whole lot of tools like this, all of them really very cool for both buyers and sellers. And one thing I should point out is you can't get these from any place else. These are exclusive. You can only get them from the Prescott Pickle Lady. And all of this is part of our page. We call it Prescott by the Numbers, or more commonly, the Pickle page. So if you're on the Pickle page, you know the Pickle page. But if you're not the Pickle page, well, you should get to the Pickle page. And you do that by subscribing. We update it every month. If you subscribe, we will send you a monthly email update with the link so you can go download all the reports that you want. Even if you're not all that interested in getting every single month, just having access to these tools will give you a real leg up when it comes to the real estate game. I hope you found this informative and maybe slightly entertaining, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Please take a moment to look below and find the button that'll take you to the Pickle page. We'll see you there.